Hey, how's it been? I'm here doing my first anime discussion video. I've been a bit unsure about doing something like this for a while because I'm not some master critic who can immediately spot a good part or a flaw of a story instantly. But this is something that's kind of had me thinking for a while, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about. Now, first off, a bit of a disclaimer my first experiences with Higurashi have been through the anime. In terms of the visual novels, I've only read Onikakushi and a bit of Watanagashi. But I do know a few various bits from past that point, like I'm aware of the Sonozaki switch, for example. But anyway, on to the point of discussion. Higurashi Go and Higurashi Sotsu just neglecting Shion. Shion's lack of screen time in Go slash Sotsu has been something of a running gag in the fandom for a while now, with people commenting shit like, "Ooh, who's this mysterious new character?" whenever a preview screenshot has Shion in it or something like that. But it's kind of something that I thought about, and I want to go over it. Shion herself as a character has kind of always been that secret six main character to me. Because, you've got Keiichi, Rena, Mion, Rika, and Satoko as the main cast established from episode 1, but then Watanabe Shihen introduces Shion. And while a lot of Shion's most famous scenes are known even by some people who haven't watched or read Higurashi, in most of these scenes she's dressed as Mion, so you probably start the show, see Mion, and assume, oh, that's her that's in all those crazy scenes. But then you get to Arc 2 and Shion is thrown into the mix, and of course in Arc 5 we learn that the person kidnapping and killing people in the Watanabe Shihen story isn't Mion, but in fact Shion. And Arc 5, I think, stands out in a lot of people's heads because of one, that reveal, and two, the insane shit that Shion does to her victims for seemingly no other reason than she suspects those people of being why Satoshi disappeared. I think most people agree it's safe to assume that Shion is insane, even like without the Hinamizawa syndrome, because of just shit like that in other scenes, like where she's like in Arc 7, where she's like, that's it, I'm gonna go kill Satoko's uncle, and she like threatens to hit Keiichi when he tries to stop her. But anyway, Go has kind of taken Shion out of the spotlight, as in Go's version of Watanagashi Hen, it's Mion doing all this instead of Shion. And Mion in that arc, as well as a character in general, is also something I'd like to discuss one day, but for now, let's just move on. So, without her core story arc, Shion is left with not much left to do in Go, but I've kind of got three possible reasons why Shion seems to be getting the short end of the stick. The first is the most boring answer, but maybe we just gave Shion way too much credit in terms of her plot importance. Like, maybe Shion, when you think about it, is just as much as a side character as people like Oishi, Irie, and Rumiko, and her being the culprit of Arc 2 and 5 was more of a surprise thing. This is honestly the most boring and thankfully unlikely answer, as a lot of Higurashi promo material, including some of Sotsu's, has shown Shion alongside the rest of the cast, so I think 07th are well aware of Shion's significance in the fandom, which brings me to my next idea. They are playing it safe or secretive with the fan favourite. When a character who isn't a part of the core main cast becomes a fan favourite, you've got to be careful with how you use them. For example, how Star Wars uses Boba Fett, or how Ruby used to use Neapolitan. You want these characters having their big moments to come off as a nice surprise rather than forcing them into the spotlight more often than they need to be. Another example would be Virgil in Devil May Cry. He's a part of the core cast of DMC, but think about how they made us think DMC5 had not much left to add, and then ages later they drop a surprise Virgil DLC on us. That might be what Higurashi is doing with Shion. Sotsu still has a way to go before it's finished, and maybe we might see a big Shion moment towards the end. Because it is arguable that Shion is probably the series' fan favourite, and they may just be playing the long game with her. My third and final idea is that maybe they just don't want Shion's rampage in Arc 5 to lose its luster. We haven't ever really gotten a story arc quite as chaotic and twisted as the fifth one in Higurashi's lifetime. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not me saying this show isn't twisted. I'm pretty sure the Go in Higurashi Go is a misspelling of Higurashi Gore, because god fucking damn, I think I'm gonna be sick. But even then, when I think about Higurashi's most truly twisted moments, I always go back to thinking about the fifth arc, and maybe 07th have realised that Shion going on a rampage like that again would probably leave the original scene feeling, less distinct, and I think if that's the case, then it's probably the right call. But at the same time, we only ever get to see Shion in small bursts in slice of life scenes, so maybe we could at least get more time of her there in return. But I have no clue what the writers are up to, so I can't really give a definitive answer. Now, is Shion my favourite character? No. In fact, her sister is my favourite character. But I still find Shion to be a very interesting character, and I do wonder if they're just playing the long game with her, or just kind of forgot to give her something to do. But that's just my personal thoughts on it. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you whenever I next get free time to make a video. Peace.